The cold blackness of space stretched infinitely before the Vanguard as it coasted toward Xylar 9, a planet nestled in the outermost reaches of the Andrus sector. Captain Maya Chin sat in the bridge's command chair, her eyes sharp and steady behind the faint glare of the display panels. This mission wasn't supposed to be hostile. It was exploration, diplomacy, science. But something in the stillness of Xylar 9's atmosphere made her instincts prickle. Beside her, Dr. Elias Monroe was absorbed in a data feed, his fingers dancing over the tablet's surface as he cross-referenced environmental readings with xenobiological databases. A slender man in his late 30s, with perpetually tousled hair and a thoughtful expression, Elias had a mind wired for problem-solving, always seeking patterns where others saw chaos. Toxic atmosphere readings are off the charts, Elias muttered, looking up at Maya. The air has compounds similar to Earth's isothiocyanates, but amplified, like an overcooked curry gone haywire. It's biologically hostile. Maya's gaze hardened. How long until it reaches lethal levels inside the ship's outer hull? Approximately 47 minutes without filtration boost, Elias replied. We'll have to move fast once we touch down. At the rear of the bridge, Tarek Taz Johnson lounged with a casual grin. The ex-military man thrived on unpredictability and chaos, his dark eyes flickering with amusement at the tension. If you ask me, he said, this place sounds like a giant cosmic jalapeno waiting to roast us alive. I'm ready to bring some human heat to this chilly welcome party. Lila Vega, sitting quietly at the communications console, smiled softly. The cultural anthropologist's hopeful nature often clashed with the grim realities of exploration, but she believed in finding common ground through understanding. Every culture has its way of welcoming strangers, she said. Maybe Xylar 9's natives aren't so different, just misunderstood. Maya nodded, appreciating Lila's optimism but unwilling to let caution slip. Prepare the landing team. We'll attempt first contact. Elias, monitor atmospheric changes closely. Taz, stay ready for anything. The shuttle detached from a Vanguard with smooth hum, cutting through Xylar 9's dense, violet-tinged clouds. The planet's surface was a tapestry of sprawling forests and jagged mountains, cloaked in an eerie bioluminescent glow. As they descended, a sudden pulse of energy rippled through the atmosphere. Hostile response detected. Elias announced, eyes fixed on the sensors. Biological defense drones, unidentified. They're dispersing a neurotoxin. Get us out. Maya ordered, but the shuttle shuddered violently as the drones swarmed, their stingers releasing clouds of purple gas. Inside the shuttle, alarms blared. Taz gripped the control panel, twisting and turning the craft in an effort to evade the swarm. Man, this is one spicy welcome, he joked, coughing to the filtered air. Lila's face paled. The toxins affected my breathing. I can't. We're going down. Maya shouted. The shuttle crashed into a clearing, systems failing. Emergency protocols activated, sealing the cabin as the neurotoxin seeped into the environment outside. The landing team was trapped. Inside the main ship, the Vanguard's crew scrambled. Maya's heart pounded. Status report. Environmental containment engaged, Elias said. Atmospheric filters stabilizing internal air, but outside conditions remain deadly. Lila's voice trembled to the calm captain. The X-Y Ryans, they're coming. The name struck Maya like a hammer. The X-Y Ryans were the planet's dominant species. Lithe, four-limbed beings with chitinous skin and multifaceted eyes that shimmer with intelligence and suspicion. Their reputation for hostility was legendary. Outside, silhouettes moved in the haze. X-Y Ryans, cautiously circling the down shuttle, their antennae twitching. Open a channel, Maya ordered. We need to communicate before this escalates. Static crackled, then a voice, sharp, alien, but broken English, came through. Humans, why invade Xylar 9? We come in peace, Maya replied steadily. Exploration, diplomacy. We mean no harm. The XY Ryan leader's voice was hard to parse, but clear in its warning. Your presence corrupts. The air, the soil. Your bodies disrupt the balance. Elias interjected. Their immune system reacts violently to human biology. There's an exchange. Our biology triggers mutations in theirs. What kind of mutations? Maya asked, unstable, aggressive, dangerous. Lila's eyes widened. Their diet, it's based on a native plant that contains extreme spicy compounds. It stabilizes their genetic structure. Taz scoffed. So, they're spicing themselves up to survive? I always knew heat was a universal language. Maya weighed the options. If their DNA stability depends on the spice, maybe we can use that knowledge to de-escalate. We need a plan, and fast. Agreed. Elias said, if we can introduce a compatible spicy compound from Earth, it might interact beneficially with their DNA. Lila nodded thoughtfully, but it has to be done carefully. In their culture, spicy food is sacred and only consumed by their elders during rituals. Taz grinned. Looks like it's cooking time. Who knew human spice could be the key to alien diplomacy? Maya allowed herself a brief smile. Let's prepare. This mission just got a lot hotter. As the Vanguard's crew mobilized, the distant sounds of the XY Ryans gathering in the twilight hinted at the fragile line between war and peace. For humanity, their greatest weapon wasn't firepower or technology. It was adaptability, creativity, and a little bit of spice. The cramped galley of the Vanguard buzzed with an unusual energy. It wasn't the sterile hum of advanced starship machinery, but the chaotic symphony of pots clanging, spices rattling, and Taz's irrepressible laughter echoing off the metal walls. All right, team, Taz announced, wielding a scorched ladle like a chef's baton. We're about to whip up the hottest, spiciest human feast Xyler 9 has ever smelled. If they want fire, we'll give them a 5-alarm blaze. Lila Vega watched, a blend of amusement and apprehension in her eyes. Tez, you realize this isn't just about taste, right? We're trying to create a biological intervention that might stabilize an alien species' DNA. It's delicate. Delicate schmeckate, Tez grinned. Spice is my specialty. Nothing delicate about it. Dr. Elias Monroe, standing over an array of sample vials, adjusted his glasses and cleared his throat. Taz has a point about passion, but this isn't simply a culinary experiment. We're working with highly reactive xenobiological compounds. The spicy chemicals in Earth's chili peppers, capsaicin, and its analogs might mimic or enhance the XY Ryan's native spicy compounds, which are crucial to their genetic stability. But it must be precise. Too little, and there's no effect. Too much, and we risk further mutations, or worse. Maya Chun, overseeing preparations from a nearby console, nodded in agreement. The stakes couldn't be higher. Our objective is to develop a spice blend that respects their biology and culture. Lila, what have you learned about their rituals involving spice? Lila flipped through her datapad, her fingers scrolling past cultural notes and linguistic analyses. The XY Ryans hold their spicy food sacred. Only elders consume it during the Calera ceremony, believed to strengthen their connection to their ancestors and stabilize their DNA during critical life phases. Presenting spice improperly could be seen as offensive or worse, threatening. Taz threw a playful wink. So, basically, we have to cook a peace treaty that tastes like a nuclear blast but feels like a hug. Elias smiled, then turned serious. Our approach needs to be twofold. Create a spice blend that biologically complements the XY Ryan's native compounds and ensure the presentation respects their cultural customs to avoid further hostility. Maya's fingers tapped a rhythmic pattern on the console. Then we prepare a ceremonial meal. It's a diplomatic gesture and a scientific intervention. If we succeed, it could stabilize their DNA and open the door to peaceful relations. The team split into action. Elias set up his mobile lab to analyze and synthesize modified capsaicinoid compounds, tweaking molecular structures to mirror Xyler 9's native spices. Lila worked on translating and adapting cultural protocols for the ceremonial dinner, crafting a respectful script and rituals that might ease tensions. Taz commandeered the galley, improvised with the limited Earth ingredients on board, determined to replicate and amplify the fiery intensity the XY Ryans revered. Got to balance heat with harmony, Taz mused aloud, tossing dried chili flakes into a simmering pot of stew-like broth. If it burns too much, they'll think it's an insult. Too mild, and it's a waste of good firepower. Maya observed the team with quiet pride. Their diversity, the pragmatic leadership, scientific rigor, cultural sensitivity, and wild creativity was humanity's secret weapon. They weren't just soldiers or scientists. They were adaptive problem solvers thriving in the unknown. Outside, the atmosphere remained hostile. Sensors tracked XY Ryan patrols weaving through the bioluminescent forest, their multifaceted eyes glowing faintly. The tense silence between species was punctuated by bursts of static on comm channels, reminders that this fragile truce rested on a razor's edge. Late into the ship's artificial night cycle, Elias presented his findings. Preliminary tests indicate that our synthesized spice blend triggers partial stabilization of the XY Ryan DNA in vitro. It enhances their native compounds' binding affinity, reducing mutation rates by nearly 40%. Lila smiled for the first time in days. And the ceremonial protocols? Accepted by most elders we contacted, Lila reported. The ritual symbolism is intact. We even incorporated traditional chants to ease acceptance. Tez leaned back, arms crossed. So, we have the science and the ceremony. All that's left is to cook up a storm and hope they don't torch us instead. Maya stood and clenched her fists. Tomorrow, we present the meal. This is more than a dinner. It's a crossroads for both our species. That night, the crew slept uneasily. Dreams mixed the scent of smoke and spice with distant alien voices. Whispers of hope and fear tangled in the planet's alien winds. The following morning, the galley was transformed into a makeshift kitchen laboratory. Taz orchestrated the crew like a conductor, stirring giant pots and sprinkling powdered spices with theatrical flair. Lila prepared ceremonial garments and translated last-minute phrases. Elias ran final chemical stability tests, and Maya reviewed security protocols. You know, Taz said, flipping a sizzling pan of fiery sauce, when I signed up for this gig, I didn't think I'd be humanity's ambassador of hot sauce. Guess it's fitting. We humans do love to turn up the heat. Lila laughed softly, and it might just save us. As the sun dipped below Xylar 9's twin moons, the crew gathered the fiery feast, carefully packaged and ready for delivery. The scent of roasting peppers, garlic, and exotic herbs filled the ship, a strange comfort amid the alien wilderness. Maya's voice was steady. This meal is a message, a gesture of peace, respect, and shared survival. Whatever happens next, we face it together. Taz raised a battered thermos. To the hottest peace treaty in known space. The others smiled, nerves mixed with hope. Outside, the shadows shifted as XY Ryans approached the landing site, drawn by the promise of fire and the chance for something new. The clearing beneath Xylar 9's twin moons was alive with cautious anticipation. Bioluminescent flora cast eerie, shifting patterns on the ground, while the XY Ryans, resplendent in ceremonial robes, gathered around a makeshift table. The air buzzed with nervous energy, heavy with unspoken questions and wary curiosity. Captain Maya Chin stood at the edge of the gathering, her posture calm but alert. Beside her, Lila Vega adjusted the ceremonial drape over the platter, whispering the last XY Ryan phrases. She had learned to ease the ritual's tension. Dr. Elias Monroe checked his portable spectrometer one last time, monitoring the spicy compound stability. Taz, ever the wild card, cracked a grin but kept his eyes sharp, fingers twitching near his sidearm. The moment had arrived. The eldest XY Ryan, a tall figure with iridescent skin mottled in deep blues and greens, stepped forward. His antennae quivered slightly as he examined the meal, an array of dishes glazed with fiery, earth spice sauces carefully balanced to mirror the native plant compounds. The air smelled pungent and piquant, a tantalizing challenge to senses unaccustomed to human fire. He extended a hand, signaling the start of the ceremony. The first bite was slow, deliberate. The elder's multifaceted eyes narrowed as a fire capsaicin ignited on his tongue, an alien expression crossing his sharp features. Surprise, pain, then something deeper. Focus. Then others followed. The XY Ryan elders consumed the meal with increasing confidence, their movements growing less guarded. The spice coursed through them, not merely a sensation but a transformation. Elias' portable sensors flickered. Initial genetic samples indicate stabilization, he whispered to Maya. Mutation markers are dropping. Yet the reaction was not without complication. The spice triggered an unexpected sensitivity to heat and light. Several XY Ryans recoiled, antennae curling as if scorched. Whispers of confusion and discomfort rippled through the crowd. Suddenly, a younger XY Ryan, defiant and brash, stepped forward. "This is unnatural," he hissed. "We are losing our strength, our heritage." Tension thickened like the spicy smoke curling from the dishes. A faction of dissenters stirred unrest, their voices rising in protest. Taz's hand instinctively hovered near his weapon. Maya raised a calming gesture. "We came here to help," she said firmly, "not to harm. This change is a chance to heal, to grow." But diplomacy was fragile. The dissenters viewed the altered state as weakness, a betrayal of their fierce warrior traditions. Some began to prepare weapons, eyes flashing with fear and rage. Lila stepped forward, her voice gentle but resolute. "Change is never easy, but it is part of survival. This fire connects us, human and XY Ryan alike." For a moment, the clearing fell silent, the tension palpable. Then, something extraordinary happened. The spicy compound appeared to unlock latent abilities. The affected XY Ryans exhibited heightened cognitive function, an emerging creativity and empathy previously suppressed by their rigid culture. Eyes that once burned with suspicion now shimmered with curiosity. The younger dissenter's grip on his weapon faltered. "What is this?" he murmured. Maya met his gaze. "Evolution. Adaptation. Together, we can face the unknown." Slowly, the weapons lowered. The fires of conflict dimmed beneath the brighter flame of understanding. But the path ahead remained uncertain. The alliance was born in fire, yes, but fire could warm or consume. As the humans and XY Ryans shared that first fiery meal, both species glimpsed the fragile possibility of coexistence, a bond forged in spice, science, and hope. The night sky above Xylar, 9 held its breath. Dawn crept slowly over Xylar 9, painting the alien landscape with hues of soft violet and amber. The once tense clearing now hummed with cautious conversation. The XY Ryans and humans gathered side by side beneath the glowing canopy. Where hostility had simmered, tentative trust now flickered like embers awaiting a breeze. Captain Maya Chin surveyed the scene with a mixture of relief and resolve. The fiery dinner had done more than stabilize DNA. It had opened a door, but she knew better than anyone that peace was a flame demanding constant tending, never a guarantee. Beside her, Dr. Elias Monroe was busy collecting genetic samples, his meticulous nature evident in every careful movement. "The data is remarkable," he said quietly. "The spice initiated epigenetic changes that could lead to long-term adaptation. Their genome is responding to environmental stress in ways we've never observed." Maya nodded, "But it's only the beginning. We need to support this transition not just scientifically, but culturally and politically." Lila Vega stepped forward, her voice warm with quiet optimism. "The XY Ryan elders have agreed to establish a council with us to oversee cultural exchange and mutual learning. They're intrigued by human creativity, especially our ability to adapt through cooperation and innovation." Taz, leaning against a tree with his trademark grin, added, "And apparently, our spicy dinner made us the hottest diplomats in the sector." "Who knew?" A ripple of laughter eased the last of the tension. Even the XY Ryan smiled, their antennae twitching in amusement. Yet challenges remained. One of the younger XY Ryans approached Maya, his expression cautious but sincere. "Your spice has changed us. Some fear losing who we are." Maya met his gaze steadily. "Change doesn't erase identity. It strengthens it. Humans have survived by embracing the unknown, by turning challenges into opportunity. That is what we offer, hope through adaptation." The young XY Ryan considered her words, then nodded slowly. "Then we will learn. Together." As the morning light deepened, a new chapter began. Back aboard the Vanguard, the crew debriefed, their bond stronger than ever. Elias looked around the table. This mission proved that science and culture are inseparable. Our technology alone couldn't solve the crisis. It was humanity's spirit, our creativity, empathy, and yes, our taste for fiery food that made the difference. Lila smiled. "It's a reminder that diplomacy is about understanding the whole being, biology, culture, history. That's what makes us human." Tez raised his cup, and a little bit of heat never hurts. Maya lifted her own drink, to the ex-wife Ryans, to humanity, to the fires that forge new futures. As they drank, the stars outside the viewport shimmered with endless possibility. The alliance between human and ex-wife Ryan was fragile but real, a testament to resilience born in adversity. In the vast, cold reaches of space, it was a small, fiery beacon of hope. And somewhere deep inside, each of them knew this was just the beginning.